This is Fritz Nelson with TechWeb TV here at VoiceCon in Orlando. I'm standing with Tom Minifie, who is from AVST, a company that's been around for 25 years. They're in the unified communication space. What is the unified communication space today? Because it's been around for a while.
It has been around for a while, and it really encompasses a lot of different technologies. So I think it's difficult. The entire industry is struggling with coming up with a single definition for it, but it is a unification of various communication methods. We really play a big part in the messaging piece, voice messaging, unified messaging, call processing, notification, and personal assistant applications. So those are the components that we really focus on, but it encompasses a lot more. It could encompass PBX technology, conferencing technology on down the road. So it's a very broad category of which we're really best-of-breed providers in the specific areas that I mentioned.
Do you include presence in that?
Sure, presence is a big piece of it moving forward. It's a huge conversation topic right now, and it comes into play if you look at the unifying of communication methods. Presence is a great technology to try to determine who's available, what methods are they available in, so that you can complete the communication as quickly as possible.
There's a lot of talk nowadays about federated presence. What's AVST's stance on that?
So AVST isn't a presence provider. We utilize the presence engines that are deployed in the enterprise, whether that be a Microsoft product or an IBM product or somebody else's, a Cisco's. So for us, it's all about interoperating with the other applications that are developed or that are deployed in the enterprise. Presence being a great example of that.
AVST is taking more of an evolutionary approach to this technology as opposed to some of the other players out there. Talk a little bit about what you tie into and interoperability necessities in the enterprise today.
Sure. Yeah, you're right. AVST is really taking the approach that unified communications is such a broad term. You can't go out and just buy unified communications. It's really a migration type process. So you start with whatever you have today and you start to build upon that. So AVST's always taken the approach of an interoperability stance. So for us, it's interoperating with all the PBX products that are out there, whether they're a traditional circuit switch product or it's a new IP-based product or a combination of the two. We can interop with all of those. Same on the groupware side. So regardless of what kind of email solution you have, what kind of network you have, what kind of network infrastructure you have, we're communication applications that interoperate with the other components that are in the enterprise today and the ones that will be deployed on down the road.
Now, when people are taking a more evolutionary approach, they're looking certainly at cost savings. With the price of IP phones, how do people get the most out of their voice over IP solution?
You know, I think when it comes to voice over IP and the actual IP PBX deployment, you really have to look at why you're doing that. Is it to enable remote workers? Is it to provide soft phones remotely for somebody that may be subject to high cell charges internationally versus using a soft phone over the internet and really not be paying anything for that? So it's specific applications. If it's strictly, I want to replace what I have today with voice over IP, you know, the return on that's going to be marginal. It's going to, the advantage or the return really is going to come from deploying to encompass new applications that you aren't able to do today with a traditional PBX.
Great. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
Yeah, thanks, Fritz. Nice talking to you.
Now, AVST has been around a long time, so they have a lot of customers, some big ones like Genentech and St. Joe's Hospital. They just recently deployed at UCLA. These are all large deployments, and they sell the product on a per port basis. If you have, say, 10,000 users or more, it'll be about $500,000. The unified messaging part is done on a per seat basis and is extra on top of that. This has been Fritz Nelson with TechWeb TV.